Okay, I heard a noise, so I just want to make sure. Right, so therefore now, let's substitute into the formula. So here we have lower boundary of median interval or median class, we put 20. The location is 15.5. The previous cumulative frequency is 14. The frequency of the median interval is 5. The group width is also 5. Okay, and then you take your calculators. If you want to do this piece by piece, step by step, you go to your numerator. What is 15.5 subtract 14? If you multiply 1.5 over 5 by 5, the 5 going to cancel out. Okay, but by now we should be able to do that calculation because we have reached certain levels in mathematics already. So this little bit of algebra should not pose any difficulties. If you want, you can divide 1.5 by 5 and then multiply by 5. You will get the same 1.5. And you leave the addition for last, 21.5. So as I said in the previous little video clip, let's see if we get 21.5. And here it is, 21.5 is an estimation of the median. So we can say as a form of interpretation, hence, %50 of the students were below, let's say 21 point, we'll use the exact figure, but it's approximation that we are doing. Okay, 50% of the students are below 21.5 years. So that's what you apply now to number 10, part F, the median when you have an interval distribution. So now we're moving on to number 10, part G. So that's supposed to be G, not A. Copy and paste, so the numbering was copied. Right. It says to estimate the mode. So that's another central tendency, another average. In week 1, week 4, page 11, you can get information with regards to that. Find the mode of data set in the frequency distribution above. Okay. Weekly notes 4, pages 11, mode for interval distribution, steps to calculate the mode for an interval distribution. Identify the interval with the greatest frequency because the mode is the value that occurs the most. This will be the modal interval. Okay, so you have a modal interval, or you can call it the modal class. Okay, modal interval or modal class. Class is another word for interval. Apply the formula to estimate the mode. This formula is provided to you. Here it is. Is the second formula, mode for distribution of intervals. The mode formula will be provided to you. Right, so here we have an example of how to do that. So the first thing it says, the first step is to identify the interval with the greatest frequency. So you look to see which interval has the greatest frequency. Which interval has the greatest frequency? Anybody?
15 to 20.
15 to 20 is the interval with the greatest frequency. Okay, so this is the modal class. The modal class is 15 to 20. Okay, and the formula for mode looks a little bit more complicated than the median formula, but in fact the steps, it is easier to get the mode than the median because you only have 2 steps. The median has 6 steps. All right, first you have to sum up the frequency to get the n, locate the median, create another column called cumulative frequency, cumulate the cumulative frequency, stop when you surpass the location, and then apply the formula. But for the mode, all you do is identify the modal class and go straight to the formula. Okay, so even though the formula looks a little bit more complicated, and I've seen it written in a more complicated form because that's what happens to maths also. So you see all those words I have there, you will not see that in another formula in the university. Okay, so that's why some persons say, well, no, I could be babysitting too much, but you have to be clear. I'm showing you the process. You will never see a formula written like that in the university. All right, maybe like this, but different symbols, and each have its meaning. Okay, because a lot of mathematicians, when they write in the books, they want to be original because of plagiarism and so forth, and they have to create their own symbolism, just to complicate things more. All right, so you may come across this formula again. I've seen it in a more complicated form, so just know, please don't lose your notes if you are intending to climb up the academic ladder. All right, because the syllabus is based on pre-university experience, what you are seeing, what you're going to meet, and you will meet those things again. Now we need to list how many elements we have to list, how many terms must we list for this formula. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, well, 6 because this is repeated. Oh no, this is repeated also. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So the FMC is repeated, the F before MC is repeated. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first one is the lower boundary of the modal class. So here they're using MC for modal class. Modal interval and modal class is the same thing. So I can even use the MI. Can somebody please tell me what is the lower boundary of the modal class? Just for participation.